Hello, Dream Team. Welcome back to our podcast.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, beautiful people, welcome to another exciting podcast of Here's a Thought with the Max. My name is Lerato Mageta.
And my name is... Yo, guys, I haven't done my sign name in such a long time.
It's been a minute, guys. It's been a minute.
Petola Mageta,
Yes.
and we welcome our South African Sign Language interpreter, Calvin. It's so
Calvin
good
Tetani.
to have Cal back in the house,
So
guys.
good to have you back, bro.
Yeah.
Once again, our sincerest love and condolences to you and your family on the loss of Ndade Tetani Senior.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, it is so good to have you back. Dream Team, please just help us welcome him back. So good to have him back. And can we also just welcome ourselves back?
I feel like
for a second,
I
because
feel like we're dropping the ball, guys.
no, baby, no, not dropping the
Am I
ball,
condemning
guys.
myself?
You must look, guys. You must always look, baby. You must look at the glass half full. You know what I mean?
Eish.
I'm a silver lining guy,
Yeah.
guys. We haven't been posting as much as we had wanted to post.
Yeah.
I think we've just had a little bit of a. So I was away for 5 weeks, and we had shot before that, and this was the reason we're able to still continue releasing videos.
Yeah.
But then I got back in the past couple of weeks, like 2 weeks or so. We've been like the whole household has been sick.
Yeah.
You know, so shooting was a little bit like tricky.
Yeah.
You know.
So what we are going to commit to, guys, but because life happens, if it happens, don't shoot us. We want to commit to 2 videos a week.
Yeah.
A Monday and a Thursday at 3 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously we're dropping this one because yesterday was a public holiday.
Yeah.
So from next week, Monday and Friday and Thursday, 3 p.m. expect an upload from us.
For sure.
So let's get into this one.
And if you haven't done so yet, please remember to like, subscribe, comment, share, turn on that notification bell to know every single time we upload a new installment. Guys, listen, come on, hit that like button for the algorithm.
We're like
right?
literally crawling
Guys, we're
to
crawling.
60,000.
But this is the thing. So this is what happens, right? It's like when you slow down, then people slow down, then the views slow down,
Yeah, but let's
then
get
the
into
subscribers.
this
So
video.
right. Okay, cool.
Because I remember the last time we did a video, someone was like, just forward to 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Because the
Yeah,
intro
for sure.
was so long.
For sure.
So, my love.
Yeah.
We've all heard the jokes about the frequency and infrequency of married sex, right? So is this a fact or a myth? And if it's true, how can we cultivate and sustain a satisfying sex life in married life?
My question is it true for you, babe? That's what I'm trying to find
I was
out.
gonna ask you.
That's what I'm trying to find out. Like, is it true for you? I think when we spoke about it before, anyway, I don't know if we're going to speak about this later because my wife is kind of steering the ship today, you know. But for me,
Am I?
yeah,
Wow.
yeah. For me, I remember when we spoke about seasons.
Yeah.
You know, but as a generalization, I would say yes. I know that there's seasons, right,
Yeah.
where sometimes we're having a lot of sex, sometimes it's crickets.
Yeah.
But I think generally, we are having less sex.
And what is crickets? Because I remember a cousin of mine, and the reason I wanted to have this conversation was because we have a WhatsApp group with cousins, and someone made a joke, and my cousin was like, "Yeah, but we know that married people have sex 3 times once in 3 months."
Yeah.
And I was up in arms. I was like, "Never," and was like, "Okay, sorry, then once a month." you know?
Yeah.
And I think, baby, you're right. There are definitely seasons.
Yeah.
But I would not say crickets, because I think we are very cognizant of when we are not having sex, and we make an effort to.
Yeah.
So I don't think we've ever gone a month.
No,
The only time we've gone a month was when you were away.
for sure.
But generally in the house, there are seasons where hole dry shem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I could think of a couple of reasons. Why do you think that is? What do you think happens in those moments, in those seasons?
Sorry, guys.
Sorry.
I'm just recovering from a flu. So I think, and also based on the research that was done, this is not only isolated. It's not an isolated case just for us.
Yeah.
It seems like a lot of couples go through this. So the research was done, and it shows that 50% of people cite work reasons and being tired as a result of not having sex.
Okay, work reasons.
Yes. 50%. Fatigue.
Yeah, but 50% is a
stress.
high number.
Yeah. Fatigue, stress, being tired, and all those things.
I could vibe with that.
Yeah. I think with us, I generally think that when we are working, the mood iba ako sexy man,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
And the last thing on my mind
And then
is,
we have to schedule
And-
sexy time. Like you're scheduling your work, and then how do you switch off?
No, I also think that because you generally sleep much later when you go through seasons of working on project.
Yeah.
So I go to sleep early, you come like 10 hours later.
Yeah.
And we don't get that time to connect.
For sure.
Because during the day we're busy.
Yeah.
And I know someone out there might say, yeah, but sex can't just be confined to the bedroom. But the reality is it makes a difference when you go to bed at a certain time and you get to be intimate. And intimate is not sex, by the way. It's not just sex,
Just
by the
sex.
way.
Yeah.
Right? Where you get to connect emotionally.
Yeah.
It does lead to physical intimacy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I think I remember we spoke about this before, and you were talking about, and I even made that joke, and I was like, how could it dry, right? And this is my thing, guys, and I still maintain
Yeah.
this thing. It's like, I don't feel sexy if I'm dropping the ball on a project, you know, that could be bringing money. So I'm just like, this is dumb. Like, what are we doing? Like, let me, it's the same, it's the same idea as me having a good night's sleep. I don't have a good night's sleep if I know that I've got things outstanding. Then I'm tossing and turning and whatever, you know? And I think I've grown to the place because once upon a time, sex used to be my release from my stress.
Yes.
Once upon a time.
Yeah.
When I was younger. Now, it's not that anymore. Do you know what I'm saying?
So you don't feel sexy when you don't accomplish. That is so interesting.
Yeah, no. I'm just
Really?
because it's not a release anymore.
Huh.
And
When did it stop being a release? Do you know?
I think when you used to express to me that Chief, you want to have sex, but you don't have money. Like there's no she didn't say it like that. But just go back to, but do you know what I'm saying? Like the sentiment was like, bro, do you know what I'm saying? So I also got to the point. I was just like, well, maybe she's right. You know what I mean? Maybe I need to reprioritize. Maybe, you know, my priorities are a little bit shifted. But there was another thing. If you didn't want to say anything on that, I just want to link this one.
Yeah.
There was another thing that started to happen between us. So a pattern started happening, right? When we would go for a while, say 2 weeks, without having sex, I felt like we kind of got into a rhythm where things were what they were. Let me explain, right? So when we weren't having sex, if I wasn't coming to bed at a certain time, I wasn't coming to bed at a certain time. If I was working on something, it was just that. I was working on something. If I'm preoccupied and I'm busy, I'm just preoccupied and busy. Then we would have sex. And then things weren't what they were with my wife. So it's like, now I feel like she'd be emotional about things that she wasn't otherwise emotional about, you know? Now she's a bit more clingy and needy than not. And I'm like, yeah, but a man must work. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like this weird thing where, you know, now me doing something in a joking way, it's not so funny anymore.
Because
You know?
now I'm like sensitive
You're sensitive.
because we're getting
I don't know.
physically intimate.
And I don't know if other guys
Go through
have gone through
that.
this, and I don't think I've ever said it to you, but it's something that I noticed. I was like, man,
I wonder what that is. Guys, please comment.
like suddenly now we're having sex. Now the rules have changed. Now it's like, no, but why aren't we cuddling? Wait, what? Yeah, I don't know.
But maybe it makes sense because obviously when you are, and I think maybe that's why when people aren't physical or maybe intimate with one another, it gets to a point where it's like, if you do something, I don't care.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what happens in relationships where people are growing apart. And it's just like, whatever. do you boo boo.
Yeah.
But because there's that level
And sometimes
of intimacy,
I need that energy that goes, do you boo boo? And I'm like, sharp.
but baby, I think now that we're grown men, there is
Yeah.
that balance.
For sure.
Where I can be like, okay, you wanna work, but
Yeah.
let's make time for one another.
For sure.
So another thing that so it was 50% that said work, stress, and about 30% said kids.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I feel like kids definitely stress you more than they do me. I wouldn't say that it necessarily affects my sex drive. I know that kids are stressful.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I know that we go through that. We get into a place where we're just like, oh my gosh, we're a little bit overwhelmed.
Yeah.
We can't sleep in the morning because they're up at 7 o'clock, because Monday to Friday, they're waking up at 6. So on a Saturday, their bodies just wake up at 6 or 7, you know, and you're just
Yeah.
like, no, you get to sleep in, but they don't have that. Their bodies don't have that
Yeah.
concept, you know?
Yeah.
So I would agree with it, but I don't think it affects me. It affects me more practically
Yeah.
than it does mentally.
So you know what I think with us, baby, is, and I don't know for other couples, I think when kids are around, it takes away the spontaneity of sex.
For sure.
Because
For sure.
before we had kids, we could have sex anywhere in the house.
Anytime, yeah.
Anytime.
Yeah.
Right? So now you're also confined to the bedroom.
Yeah.
Because you don't
By and large, yeah.
you don't want to be now getting busy on the couch and then your kids walk out and it's like,
Well, and that's the thing. So let's be real. Like,
know.
I'm definitely much more spontaneous in that regard. You know.
now I'm just
And
like,
you and my wife is just like, what if the kids?
no, I don't
walk
want to
out? And I'm
traumatize
just
my
like,
kids, guys.
it's not about traumatizing. For me, there's so much sexiness in the danger of it, you know. And it's not
Yeah.
like we're not gonna hear them. Like if the door opens, we're gonna hear, and it's just gonna be like, "Hey, Tibang, Tibang," you know what I'm saying? I don't know. That's just how
What?
I
Tibang,
feel.
Tibang?
Yeah, it's just like, yo, cover, you know, like let's just pretend we were just nothing to see here. Just, you know what I'm saying? I feel like that's fun, man. Like, I don't
my
know,
word,
you know.
So no, so for me,
Do you remember when I was working in the studio
Yeah.
outside and it was raining and my wife came and I was just like, like, you know, I'm like, yeah, you know. So
and I'm just like, what if
you see what I'm saying? And I'm like,
walks in?
and that's why I'm saying for me, it's more
Yeah.
practically that sometimes it stands kids, the idea of kids being around would stand in the way, but not mentally. Like we can find a way around it.
Yeah.
You know.
So are you saying that with us it affects me more than
I
it
think
does you?
so. I think
Yeah.
so.
Okay.
But it's not to say. I think, especially in certain seasons, you would be the first to bring it up that we're not having sex.
Yeah. And
More than I
more
would.
than you would.
Yeah.
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 And I think also with kids, like as new parents, I mean, we haven't been new parents in a very long time. But I remember, babe, when I was breastfeeding and we just had our kids and they were babies, the last thing that I wanted to do was sexy time. Because now you're leaking.
Yeah.
Now, wait again, you're
And I was just like, so
tired.
what? So you're leaking.
Now,
So what?
and I'm just like, yo, aku sexy more,
Yeah.
man. You know?
Yeah.
So kids definitely do play
Yeah.
a part in why married couples.
For sure.
Another thing, I can't remember what percentage it was, but it wasn't the rest of the 100% pie. I think
Yeah.
it was about 13% who cited pain.
What does that mean? What does that
I
mean,
think, you know
guys?
what? Because we're honest, baby, ne?
Yeah.
I think let's be very honest.
Yeah.
I think earlier on in our marriage, and I don't know if it was the pill, because I had just gotten on the contraceptive, I used to complain a lot about discomfort.
I told you that.
Yeah,
a couple
but
of
I also
a couple
remember,
of weeks ago. Yeah.
Because not even a couple of weeks. I
But it
mean,
was
I
like
think it
last
was like
week or
last week,
something.
and I was like, babe,
Yeah.
do you remember like first few months into our marriage?
Yeah.
I would complain about discomfort.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, yo, it just feels dry. It's just,
Yeah.
you know, no matter how much foreplay we would have,
Yeah.
it was just uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And that would make me not want to engage.
Why
What
do
did
you
he-
think?
what did
Why
he-
do you think that was?
I think it was hormonal.
because you had just gotten onto the pill.
I think it was the pill because it is proven that the pill does that.
Oh, is it?
Yes,
Okay.
it affects you hormonally, and it can cause you to be dry during intercourse.
That's so interesting because at the time, and guys, you know when you're young, you don't really speak about these things, or you're not very honest about these things. I took it quite personally.
Did you think it was you?
Well, I was insecure. Do you know what I mean? I was like, am I not able to satisfy my wife to the point where she can remain, what's the word?
Lubricated.
Yeah, stimulated.
What did you want to say?
Yeah, stimulated. Do you know what I'm saying? I wanted to say, yeah.
Oh, is that a bad word?
I don't know. I mean, some people are conservative. Okay. You know what I mean? Like, and my ego. You know what I mean? So my ego would take a knock. You know, I would just be like, man, like, is this? And then sexy time wasn't so sexy because now I'm trying as much as possible. So my love language, when it comes to having sex, like what fulfills me is your level of enjoyment.
Yes.
Like that's always been my thing. I'm like, I'm happiest when you are happy and you're just showing this sense of, oh my gosh, yes, right? For as long as I don't have that, I can't just kind of finish the job and roll over and be like, well, I got mine, get yours. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, so that was very tricky for me.
That was hard.
Yeah, that season was really tricky for me because I was just like...
Yeah. And I don't even remember how we got past that. I think we started talking about it. We started
I think I would start asking you afterwards. So...
What's wrong?
I started saying, so how was that? Should I do anything differently?
Yeah.
How would you, and I just started paying attention to what you liked and more attention to what you liked and what you didn't like because I didn't want anything because also remaining stimulated is very mental.
Yes.
So I didn't want anything I wanted to get that out the way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if it is a mental thing, then let me just make sure that I'm servicing her the way that she needs to be.
And baby, I think what you're saying is very important about. Sorry, I'm gonna squirrel. As you were talking, I was reminded of that song that I was listening to earlier.
Yeah.
The one that goes, Mashata si Paris.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. For sure.
So that song is trending, guys. Lyri's just like, okay.
Yeah. Honestly, I was looking at technical stuff here. I'm going, what's happening here? Yeah.
So I think what you're saying about the mental thing is that once it started happening a lot with the dryness, then the next moment it would trigger me again. Because you're sort of expecting what happened prior to happen again. So then it was just a cycle of it happening, even when I think it was now mental. Yeah.
And it was shame. I mean, in your defense, you tried to fix it because then you suggested that we try getting some lubricant. And
then you were like,
and again, that was my ego.
That's interesting.
No, it's not to say, listen, just look at it from a practical point of view.
Yeah.
Like I was like, oh, so.
Sorry, baby. You know that guy that bought sanitizer, lubricants, think it was sanitizer. Sorry, yeah.
But you know what I'm saying? Like even then, I was like, whoa. So, are you saying I'm not enough?
Sure.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like it was weird. Anyway, that was a weird time in our thingy. We got over that season.
But I'm glad we're talking about it because, baby, even if it's one person out there going through it.
For sure.
Because definitely if we went through it, somebody's going through it.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that we went through that and now we're able to talk about it.
Yeah.
Right? And you might find that sometimes even after kids, Sometimes things shift, down there. Sometimes people don't feel sexy enough.
Did you go through a season of not feeling sexy? I mean,
After
beyond
kids,
I mean,
yeah.
beyond the squirting of the milk, dripping, spillage, whatever, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Did you not feel
did.
sexy?
I felt not insecure, but I felt conscious. So remember, I had 2 natural births, right? So the
The what, Patella?
we're just going to use biological terms.
Yeah.
So the vagina is, this conversation
is
a muscle,
For sure.
right? And then
Yeah.
if you're pushing ahead,
Yeah.
Out
a whole
of
body, a
a
whole
whole
human being.
head and
Shoulders,
shoulders,
knees and toes.
it is bound to stretch.
Okay.
But the reality is, because of its elasticity,
Yeah.
it bounces back after a couple of weeks.
Okay.
So I think I kind of feel like it took time for me to bounce back after Ruo, especially.
Yeah.
I think with Hagwe,
Ro is our second battle.
yes, I think with Hagwe, things went back to normal very quickly. But with Ruo, I just felt like it took long. I feel like it took my 8 months.
What made you feel like it took long? So,
I just felt different down there.
okay.
I think during our lovemaking, it just felt
Not like it used to.
like,
Okay.
like
Different.
different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's interesting because for me, I can acknowledge that it was different,
Yeah.
but different wasn't bad.
But would you have told me though if it was
Oh
like,
gosh, no.
Because I've heard of some men who've said to their wives that they feel like they're big down there.
So I would have never said it to you because I wouldn't have wanted to explain that. No, I'm not saying that. No, all I mean is no. I don't.
Like-
no. My piece is very important
But you wouldn't
to
have
me.
said it to me.
That's what I'm saying. I wouldn't have
Yes.
said it.
And I appreciate that.
I wouldn't have said it.
I appreciate
under-
that because
even if it was complimentary, I wouldn't have said it because of the
that's
stigma.
not complimentary to me.
Exactly. So because
Yes.
of the stigma around it. So
Yeah.
I can say to you now, yes, there was an acknowledgement that it was different, but for me, it was
bad.
it was different, man. It was like, how do I put it? Like, no, I'm trying to think of a way to. So I don't have issues with change. I don't have issues with evolution.
Yeah.
I don't have issues with progress, with experiencing something new and something different.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And so for me, it was adventurous. I was like, oh, okay. Because mind you, that's not the only thing that changed. Your body as well.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
And I was like, whoa, I'm experiencing you
Yeah.
in a new way, in a different way. And for me, it was beautiful. For me.
And do you feel like you also had, even though it did feel different, it came with a level of respect as to what this body can do?
Yeah, I mean,
Like, is that
look-
the other stuff that...
no, you see, so you must remember, I was there in the room, in the
Yeah.
birthing room for
Yeah.
both, I can't, in my mind, that's not sexy time. We can't respect, that's another thing. I'm just like,
The job
What?
is done.
Yeah.
It did its job there. This is a different
I'm
function.
not thinking about that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But does my affection for you grow after an
Yeah.
experience like that? Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Do I have a sense of my goodness?
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
Okay.
Not because of what this body can do, but what you did for us.
Amazing.
Those
I
are
hear
two
that.
different
I
things.
hear that.
You know what I
hear
mean?
that.
Yeah.
And another thing, baby, what people are also other reasons what couples are saying. I don't know how you feel about this, but a sense that we let ourselves go when we get married, right? Because I remember when we got married, I used to have like nice, cute little night dresses.
Yeah.
Make sure that I shower every night. I don't shower
Lingerie.
every night, guys. I mean,
Your
I
mom
should
would be mortified.
I know I should be, but sometimes I'm just so tired that I'm just like, nah, right?
Yeah.
And sometimes you just sleep with a t-shirt
Yeah.
and boxers.
Yeah.
I'll take your pair of boxers.
Yeah.
And I just sleep. Right?
Yeah.
But then there was a girl that I used to work with.
Yeah.
This girl says she sleeps naked every day.
Sure, Ntwanaka. Sure, girl.
She's
that works with
like...
her. Sure, girl.
And I thought it was
man.
really interesting because I get really cold.
Oh,
Even though you know sometimes you obviously keep me warm, but
yeah.
I don't know if I would be able to do it in the winter. But she was just saying that in itself just allows them, it creates a conducive environment for sexy time.
Yeah.
But now
So then you must know that if she's not going to bed naked,
but the
something
question is, would you not get used to just feeling your person's naked body and then it does nothing?
well, there was that challenge where people would come in front of their partner and drop their towel,
Yes.
and then they would record the partner's reaction.
Yes.
And I remember saying to you, that would never work with us.
Yeah.
Because we're always naked in front of each other. Like,
Yes, because
Like-
we bath together.
like I would look like a complete toss if my wife did that challenge, because I'd literally look at her and be like, Sean, Donna, and like carry on. You know what I'm saying? No, but honestly, like that challenge
so
wouldn't work
it's
with
not
us.
just about being naked.
But-
there's more.
Well, I still don't think it's a bad idea.
Because batho ba bang ba robala ka di-stofi. Guys, kopela le ska robala ka
Stofi keng?
di-stofi. Tights.
Yeah.
Di-stofi.
Yeah. Yeah.
And men sleep ka di-track suit. Please, guys,
Yeah.
don't sleep ka di-track suit. So you think
I
that-
don't know, man. I
Yeah.
don't know. I think sometimes we put too much weight on. In my experience, it didn't matter what you were wearing or what you weren't wearing.
Yeah.
Like if we wanted to, it goes down.
Yeah.
There have been instances where you've put on some sexy lingerie and whatever, and I was like, all right,
Yeah.
cool, let's go. But a pair of tracksuits never put me off.
But I think in the
Me.
beginning, I don't know if I ever told you.
Yeah.
But I remember in the beginning, baby, like when we got married, all you wanted to do was have sex.
Okay.
Sometimes if I'm like showering and I hear you, I'm like, yo, I must get dressed very quickly
Yeah.
because I know
Yeah.
touch is a move.
Right.
So I think maybe also the novelty wears off because in the beginning, you were not used to seeing me naked. So every
Yeah.
time you would see me naked, it was
Yeah. You know what time it is.
you know what time it is.
Yeah.
So now that you've been seeing me naked for the past 11 years,
Yeah.
you know, it takes more than just seeing me naked.
For sure.
Now it's a whole ecosystem of intimacy, being in the mood, creating the right environment, and so forth and so on. Yeah. So, Dream Team, I think in closing, I'll just say I definitely think that married people do have less sex than when they got married as the
Yeah.
years go by. But I do believe that it stops becoming about the frequency, but about it's not the quantity, but it's the quality, right? But obviously you can't go like 3 months and be like, yeah, you know, we have sex once in 3 months and it's just the quality, whatever. But it will vary. For other people, they have sex 7 days a week. For other people, it's 3 times. For other
Yeah.
people, it's, couples are different. But what I've noticed that with us, like you were saying, there are seasons, and more than anything, it's really just about the quality of the sex. And I think 11 years later, because we know each other, we've studied each other, the sex has just gotten better.
Oh yeah.
And it's just
Safer.
It's safer and
freer.
it's
greater.
And the intimacy,
Yeah.
they say what are intimacy again? Into me, I see. We see into.
Oh.
Yeah.
I don't know that one.
What intimacy into me?
What's the level of that one?
Which one is this one? So I feel like we literally have a glimpse into each other's souls and we connect on just another level, and it's just beautiful.
Yeah, I think my closing thought is I think what happens is the purpose for which you are intimate with your partner evolves over time. And what happens is when you get married, you are driven by raging hormones, right?
Yeah.
And then over time, it's like when people often say, but love is not enough, right? You start looking for a greater purpose for why we are being intimate. And this is the thing. I think couples, maybe as time goes, they stop identifying with the purpose of why we are doing this beyond it, and then it starts to feel like a chore. I was watching an interview of Chance the Rapper last week, and he was saying that him and his wife are celibate. I know. Very interesting.
Okay.
So he then starts to speak about...
Are they fasting?
It's not a lifetime thing. This is the season that they're in, right?
Okay.
And then he starts to speak about how you can lust after your partner even within marriage. And then he even jokes and he's like, I'm sure guys are going, what? But he's like, yeah, because even within marriage, it's something that's supposed to glorify God. And sometimes it no longer becomes about that. It's just, it's so sinful in its nature, and it's no longer about glorifying God and honoring each other. Anyway, he goes into this whole thing, which I'm not going to go into right now. And I'm not saying that I agree or disagree with it. The point is, for him and his wife have found or are on a journey to finding a greater purpose as to why they are having sex. And this is part of their journey. They've figured out, okay, these are the mechanics that we are going to use in order for us to find each other again.
You should see my face.
No, I can
and my
feel
jaw,
your face.
Like,
I can feel your face.
I'm like trying to not,
you know what I mean?
Be judgmental.
Yeah, and we shouldn't, because the thing that I took from that was they're on a journey to finding what the greater purpose is. Yeah. And if this is how they would like to go about it, that's how they should go about it. All of us do it in our own way, which is why married couples are having less and less sex as the years go by, because they're just starting to ask themselves, why?
What is the purpose?
Like, what's the point?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It starts becoming mundane. It's like, okay.
And babe, I'm glad that you're saying that couples are asking. I don't think that it can ever become mundane. I think you also realize when you're not having it, you see a difference. I feel like we are short with each other when we're not having sex. I personally feel like and something just happens when we're having regular sex in the house.
Yeah.
It's just homonate.
Yeah.
We just love each other. We're happy.
Yeah.
Radloa.
Yeah.
And I think just some of the things that we do to make sure that we are intentional about our sex life in the house. I sometimes text you.
Yeah.
Sexiness.
Yeah.
In a little.
Yes. It's a good thing nobody touches my phone ever, even the kids. Cause
I'll send you guys. I can be sexy, and you're just like I was like yes, I can be sexy if I want. So, and I think it just starts, we spoke about it a while back, that it's a build up during the day. You just teasing your partner, hey, see you. By the time your partner gets home,
it's about to go down. Guys, thank you so much for hanging out with us again, man. It's been so cool hanging out with you guys. You guys are amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you for rocking with us. Please remember,
Thank
if you
you,
haven't done
guys.
so yet, like, subscribe, comment, share, turn on that notification bell to know every
Yeah.
single time we upload a new installment. Shout out to Calvin over here because he is back, baby, with a
Yes.
bang. And we will see you soon. Go tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a neighbor to tell a brother and a sister that the Macs are in the building and they should subscribe to this channel.
Yeah, we love you guys and bring sexy back. Sexy time, man.
You know what it is.
One
time,
too
too
real.
real.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes. Peace and blessings, people.
Love you. Bye.
One love.